Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to this week's episode of Faith, Lies, and Confusion. I'm your host, Godless Reggie, and as always, I have a few of my friends with me in disbelief here. First, we have the amazing Afro Atheist. How are you today? Afro.
Hey, hello. Sorry, I did. I just hello.
Uh, how are you today, Afro?
I'm good, thank you. It's a wonderful day without God. I haven't been to church today. I've not uh, I have not been to any church to go and worship a God. So yes, it's a beautiful day.
Same here. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have the undefeated champ of religious debates. We have the
Mm-hmm.
vessel of dishonor. How are you today, vessel?
Hello, hi everyone. How you doing? Another day without God feels fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Same here. Also, we're supposed to have Tia stop by. She's also very talented. She plans on joining us today. I don't know what time she's going to pop in, but we're going to go ahead and start without her. This week's episode is titled "Aisha, the Mother of Believers." It's a deep dive into her life. For all those who are watching who may not be aware of who she is, Aisha or Aisha, some people call her either one. She was one of the Prophet Muhammad's wives. He has several, but to me, I feel like she's the most famous. Let's get into it. So, let's talk about who she was first of all. Let me pull it up on the screen. Uh, And thank all y'all that's watching right now as well. Aisha bint Abu Bakr was one of the most prominent and influential figures in early Islamic history. She was the youngest wife of the Prophet Muhammad and the daughter of Abu Bakr, the first caliph of Islam. Here are some key details about her and her life. Is it big enough for you to see, or should I change it?
Yeah, please make it bigger. Hey, native atheist. Yes, make it bigger, please.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
No, actually, a bit more.
Better or no?
Just continue. I can read it, but it's a bit tiny, but I can read it.
Is it smaller now or bigger?
It is smaller.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Okay. Okay. She was born around 613 or 614 CE in Mecca. Aisha was married to the Prophet Muhammad when she was very young, around the age of 6 or 7, depending on who you ask. But she moved into his household when she was around 9 or 10. Despite her young age, Aisha quickly became a close companion and trusted confidant of the Prophet. Aisha is considered one of the most knowledgeable and authoritative figures in Islamic teachings and traditions. She narrated over 2,000 hadiths, saying and acting, saying and acting of the Prophet Muhammad, making her one of the most prominent transmitters of the Islamic knowledge. She was known for her intelligence, eloquence, and strong character. Many companions of the Prophet and later scholars would consult her on religious matters. After the Prophet Muhammad's death, Aisha continued to play a role in the political and religious life of the Muslim community. Now, I've been aware of her for some time. I just didn't know that she was who they're saying she is. I didn't know that she had such a big role. I thought she was just one of his smack slaves like the rest of them. I didn't know that.
Vessel is backstage.
Okay, let me get it right. Yeah, I didn't know that she had such a role in Islam like that.
Yeah, I too didn't know. I just thought she was just like a figurehead because in Islam, you I mean, from what we knew growing up with Islam, Muslim women, they were not on the forefront. They weren't, you know, leaders as such. They were more at the back. And so to learn that she was quite influential after he had died, that was quite, I thought that was impressive. Um, Although there's been debates about her, but never mind. I'm sure you will get into that later.
I think her age really had a lot to do with it too, because if you consider how old he was compared to her, shit, who else was gonna run it? I'm sure she lived. Well, I know she lived years and years and years after him, just based off the age alone.
Yeah, and I
So,
think she was his favorite. So it looks like he spent a lot of time with her. And so, it's safe to say that she would have learned a lot just by being with him.
right. So, the Battle of Camel. Aisha was involved in the first major civil war, fitna, in Islam, particularly in the Battle of the Camel in 654 CE. She led an army against the fourth Caliph Ali due to a dispute over the murder of the third Caliph. I can't pronounce that.
Uthman.
Uthman. Although her forces were defeated, she remained a respected figure in the Muslim community. Her life and legacy. After the Battle of Camel, Aisha retired from political life and focused on teaching and transmitting Islamic knowledge. She passed away around 678 CE in Medina. She was buried in the Jannat al-Baqi cemetery. Aisha's contributions to Islamic jurisprudence, prudence,
Jurisprudence.
jurisprudence, her role in shaping early Islamic history, and her deep knowledge of the Quran and Hadith have cemented her legacy as one of the most important women in Islamic history. That's strange to me. I say that because, a lot of times when we talk to people of that faith, some of them don't recognize her as anything except for one of his wives.
No, but a lot of them, they say they call her the mother. They call her their mother. Now, bear in mind, there are different sects of Islam.
Right.
I was shocked this day when I was listening to this guy. He was talking bad about Aisha. He's a Muslim man. But he was saying, oh, she was shitty and she was, the worst thing since sliced bread. And she was this and she was that, what? I'm thinking, hang on. Well, it turned out that he says he was from the Shia sect, and they do not like Aisha. I was like, whoa, really? Y'all don't. So that is interesting. I really want to know what Shia people believe and what they think of Aisha.
Hey, Ouija666, how are you? Yeah, that's strange to me. That's strange because I'm like, from my point of view, I'm obviously on the outside. I don't know a whole lot about Islam, but it would seem like she would be the innocent person in this shit. Like, why would you
Hmm.
dislike her? Um, Especially when she's the one who had to carry on his legacy for the most part. Shit, she was 6 years old when he married her. Most of the shit that now that I'm reading this and learning more, most of the stuff about your religion you got from her. So I don't get it.
Hey, we just 666. Reggie, can I share my screen?
Absolutely. Do I got to push something for you to do it? You know,
Hold on, one sec. Okay. Can you show that one? Right. Okay. So this is let me see if I can make this. So what I was saying about what do you call it now? Aisha. So this is the Shia view of Aisha, right? The Shia view of Aisha is generally unfavorable. This is primarily due to what they see as her contempt for the Al-Bayt, the Islamic prophet Muhammad's family, right? The family, and her actions in the first fitna, the civil war of the time. her participation in the Battle of the Camel. Just that battle you were talking about,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like there were different sides to that battle, and it's interesting to note, what went on there. So apparently, her participation in the Battle of Kama is widely considered her most significant sign of such content. The Shias also consider Aisha to be a controversial figure because of her political involvement during her lifetime. Aisha came from a political family lineage as she was the daughter of Abu Bakr and the first caliph. Aisha also played an active role in Muhammad's political life. She was known to accompany him to wars, where she learned military skills, such as initiating pre war negotiations between combatants and conducting battles and ending wars. Wow. It's,
So
it's amazing. How was she so influential? But now women are, uh, they're made to not be on the forefront, covered up. Was she covered up when she was doing all these things? Did she have her full thingy on? What do you call that thing now? That cloth, is it the burqa? Did she have the burqa on when she was busy negotiating between combatants, conducting battles, and ending wars? That's interesting. I would love to know that if someone has answers. Hmm.
I read a little bit more of her about her too, and it's going to come up in a little bit, I think. But
Okay,
at one
you can,
point, she
you can take this one
she
off.
got accused. She got accused of some shit, uh, unjustifiably. So you'll see what I mean.
Okay, yes,
But
I've heard of that.
so let's see. Let me close this down. Give me 1 second here. Okay. On the character of the Prophet Muhammad, can you let's see.
No, I can't see. Mine's still showing.
All right, 1 second here. Should I change the size?
Yes,
Probably.
please.
Was that better?
No,
What about now?
not yet. Still showing up. Very little on my screen anyway. What I want to know is, do you think Aisha believed that her husband was truly a prophet?
No.
Or was she just going along?
I don't really think. I think she was going along with it, but
Mhm.
the way the laws are set up over there, what choice do you have? Okay, that's the first problem I got. I'm not even on the right page. Give me a second. Sorry for the technical difficulties, y'all. Clearly, I'm a rookie, right?
I mean, there's no hard or fast rule when it comes to these internet things.
Right.
It's none at all.
Okay, let's see if I can blow it up now.
That's better.
Okay. Okay. On the character of the Prophet Muhammad, Aisha narrated the Prophet's character was the Quran, Sahih Muslim Book 4, Hadith 1623. This Hadith highlights the deep connection between the Prophet Muhammad's behavior and the teachings of the Quran, indicating that he embodied its principles. in his daily life. On prayer and devotion, Aisha narrated, the Prophet used to stand in prayer at night until his feet would swell. I said to him, why do you do this when Allah has forgiven your past and future sins? He replied, should I not be a grateful servant? Sahih Bukhari, Book 21, Hadith 230. This hadith illustrates the Prophet's dedication to worship and gratitude despite his already elevated status. On the importance of moderation, Aisha narrated, whenever the Prophet was given a choice between two matters, he would choose the easier one, as long as it was not sinful. But if it was sinful, he would keep far away from it. The Prophet never took revenge for his own sake, but only when Allah's limits were transgressed, in which case he would take revenge for Allah's sake. Sahih Bukhari, Book 56, Hadith 760. This hadith emphasizes the Prophet's preference for moderation on his focus on upholding divine principles rather than personal grievances, on domestic life and fair treatment. Now, this is one we should have read the other day when you had made the post about, do women have rights in Islam? Aisha narrated, the Prophet never hit anyone with his hand, neither a servant nor a woman, but he would only struggle in the cause of Allah, and he never took revenge for anything unless the prohibitions of Allah were violated. Then he would take revenge for the sake of Allah. This hadith highlights the Prophet's kind treatment of others, especially within his household. Now, I don't know how I feel about that because there's plenty of other situations where other hadiths and obviously the Quran contradict that. How do you
So, right. Um, the prophet never hit anything with his hand, neither a servant nor a woman, but he would only struggle. You see, it's that but that is my issue. But he would only struggle in the cause of Allah. You see, this is the thing. We allow religious leaders to get away with evil because we say they're doing it in the cause of the God or this character up there. So, in the cause of Allah, he can do whatever the hell he wants.
right?
But if it's not in the cause of Allah, he's not done anything at all. Come on, which one is it? It's either he did something or he didn't do something. It's that simple. All this cause of Allah. We don't believe in Allah. I don't believe in Allah. So, what are you doing in the cause of a non entity?
To me, that's an easy ass loophole too, because you could always do some fucked up shit in the name of
There
Allah.
you go.
For example, okay, I'm a non-believer. You're against Allah. Now it's time to unalive you. So that's weak to me.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm,
That's weak as fuck.
mm-mm. You know what, Reggie? I am a prophetess now. I received before I came on the stream, an angel visited me and told me that I have been selected to pass on. I am now a because listen, prophets and prophetesses, they get all these benefits and privileges. I want me some privileges. Please, I am your new prophetess. God has sent me to all of you, and 50% of your income. My God says 50% of your income has to be paid into my bank account. And you all should follow me. Everything I say, you must do. I mean, think about it. This is, you know, can you imagine?
Listen, shout out to the Muslims though. You know why?
Hmm, hmm.
It's cheap. It's cheaper to be a Muslim than it is a Christian. It's way fucking cheaper.
How? How?
Man, listen. I just learned about that first fruit shit. God, if listen, even if I was a believer, let's say if I was a believer, every time first fruit come around, God, fuck you. I ain't giving you shit. All my money, nigga. You want all my money? Girl, fuck you.
No, but Reggie, listen. When people have been convinced that there is a God to give money to, right? And this is how they tell folks. They tell folks that uh, that No, Boss Hawk is right. Hajj is not cheap. Reggie, listen, it can't be cheap being a Muslim. Anyway, as I was saying, they tell people that what is the least you think God is sparing your life. God is keeping you alive.
And
The
it ain't
life that
listening.
you have is because he woke you up this morning. The least that you could give him is your money. What is your money before God? God can take that money away anytime.
Come take it.
Anytime. He can take it away. So you find people saying, "Mm-mm, look, I better give him before he takes it away." You see, you've got to get into the psyche of the people. You've got to get in there. Watch them give all the money, right? In Islam, no, they tell them, look, Allah wants to borrow your money. See, let me see if I can find that.
Shit, at least he gonna pay it back.
Allah
Shit.
wants to borrow your money. No, you didn't pay shit back. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can find that verse in the Quran that talks about Allah. Allah wants to borrow some money or something like that.
Listen, I seen this one podcast on well, it wasn't really a podcast. It was a clip I seen on TikTok. It's a young American black guy. He was talking about people that don't give their tithes. Guess what he said? He's like, "You a thief." I'm like, "What? Motherfucker, you the thief."
Can you share my screen?
Hmm.
Okay.
Is that the right one?
Is the right one, yeah. Give me a second. Let me make this big. Is it bigger? Can you see?
It looked the
What have
same.
I done? Huh? Looks the same?
Uh-huh.
Uh wait, hold on. Hold on. What have I done? Wait, hold on.
I
Sorry. Oh, I was I was on a different page. Okay, this one. It's this one. Okay, right. Can you see that better?
yeah, I see it. You should X that one. That there, there it is.
Right. So, is this one here? Right. So this is Surah Al Hadid 57:18 says, "Indeed, the men who practice charity and the women who practice charity, and they who have loaned Allah a goodly loan, it will be multiplied for them, and they will have a noble reward." And let me tell you, that reward, if you think it's here on earth, you're just don't fool yourself. Your reward is somewhere else. So the other one, so these let's see, surely those who give zadaqah and those women who give sadaqah and have advanced a good loan to Allah, for them it will be multiplied. Right. So these are just the other what you call it, the other people that give their own um they give their narrative when it comes to the verse. But yeah, Allah says you should give him a loan.
I mean,
So
but
indeed, the people who practice it, it be multiplied for them. Allah wants your money.
I
Allah
get it.
wants your money.
I get it, and it's still it's some bullshit either way. But at least he attempting. You know, he's saying, "Let me loan that shit. Let me hold it." God be like, "Give me your money, or I'm going to
Mm-mm.
unalive you because I unalive my son for your sake, and you don't deserve to be here, and you ain't worthy." At least Allah try to ease you into that shit.
Allah's not easy shit. No, Reggie, Allah ain't easy shit. Look at this verse, Reggie. Listen, at least if Allah is saying, indeed, the men and women who practice charity and the women who practice charity, and they who have loaned Allah a goodly loan, right? It be multiplied for them, right? At least appreciate the people who have given you it. Somebody has taken out of their money and given you a loan. How about say thank you?
That's true.
How about say, okay, I appreciate your generosity. No, it'll be multiplied for them, and they will have So if you have the power to multiply that money, why don't you give your own money, give yourself your own money, and leave these people money alone?
Right, but it kind of comes down to which one do you prefer? Do you prefer a person to be like, "Look, give me your money because you owe it to me, or you going to hell," or do you prefer a person to be like, "Look, let me hold your let me borrow some money from you. I'm not gonna pay you back for real.
No,
but let
they
me
are both.
borrow some. Let me borrow some money, and you're gonna get it back in heaven.
Listen, when you're Muslim, you submit your will to Allah. You submit it all to Him. And then there is the threat of Jahannam, right? So I don't know how you're going to. No, 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 Reggie. I do not agree that one's better than the other.
No,
I
no, no,
put
no.
them.
Listen,
I put them in the same ballpark.
I'm listen. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But I'm just saying, which one do you prefer? Because they both saying the
One.
same thing. Just one gonna ease you in, and one just gonna be like, "Give me your shit right now."
Listen, it depends on what verse you're reading. That's the thing. It depends on what verse you are reading. There's some verses where Allah just goes right in, right? Allah just, right? So it depends on what verse. There's some verses where even the God of the other religion, he also tries to lure you in, but it's a setup, Reggie.
Oh
Any
yeah,
God,
definitely.
any of these gods that is trying to lure you in, I guarantee you it's a setup. Don't fall for it. Do not fall for it. Gods don't like humans.
They sure don't. They sure don't. Vessel, you've been kind of quiet over there. I ain't
She's
heard you
still
say
there.
nothing.
Oh, I'm listening, and I just wanted to say that it's very sometimes the Allah spoke when it was convenient.
Allah
What's
Sorry,
never spoke. Allah has
yeah,
never spoken. Allah has never spoken. Never.
no, I mean
Never.
when it was convenient for Muhammad, for example, the women covering up situation, Allah suddenly released a word that they should cover up.
Mm. Yeah, but Allah's never spoken. And the claim is the words of Allah. It's the claim that is the words of Allah.
Yes,
So,
they
See,
conveniently claimed whenever it was suitable for them, when something had happened, all of a sudden Allah had something to say about it.
mhm,
So
mhm,
I just think the whole thing's it's just a setup.
mhm,
right.
mhm.
See, my thing with it is, it's like it touches too many hands before it gets to me, human beings, the reader.
Mm.
So you want an imaginary God, Allah, imaginary Jibril or Gabriel, which depending on what you believe, right? Muhammad, a motherfucker that can't read or write, right? Whoever the fuck he told to write this shit, right? So it just don't make sense. That's what fifth or sixth hand accounts. I don't even know if there's such a such thing as that, a fifth or sixth hand account. This is hearsay. This is all fucking hearsay. It's not even. It don't even qualify to be a myth.
And
Mm.
the original Qurans that were burnt. So the one that they have now is not like the original. It was just one of the Prophet's friend deciding what went in and what didn't go in.
And that's on top of it. If you believe that these people actually existed, like I honestly believe that Muhammad may have existed, and I believe that Aisha may have existed. I think there's some truth to that, right? I mean, the supernatural parts, I don't believe, but how the fuck would he know what these scribes or whatever the hell you want to call them wrote? He can't read or write.
No, you got them to read it to him. You got
They
them to read what they've written to him, back to him. Yeah.
they still can say anything because they're not going to sit there and read the whole story to him. They're going to read bits and pieces to him.
That's
You
it.
know
That's
what it is?
so
What's up?
for me.
I
The
think
validity of the claims is just for me it's zero
null and
percent.
void.
Right. That would never hold up in no court. I don't, well, in Sharia court, it probably would. But that's
But
about it. It don't even make sense.
okay, the question to ask then, based off what you're saying, Reggie, is when was the Quran written? Because I'm thinking, okay, maybe they could read it back to him what they wrote, but he made them memorize it. When did they start putting pen to paper? Was it after he died? Because if it was after he died, there was no way for him to indeed, you know, cross check that they were saying exactly the right words. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I heard that it was after he died, but then also that version was burnt, and then another one rewritten or other books put together. I don't know how they did it,
I'm
so
actually checking.
it's not accurate.
Why would Allah, God, or whoever you whatever you call him, right? Why would he pick him of all people to pass this message to when he's stupid as a motherfucker? I don't understand that.
Mm-mm.
You have to pick another person that's smarter than that. And I mean, obviously, Muhammad must have had some sort of great memory, allegedly. But at the same time, there's smarter people out there than that. So I don't understand that.
So it says here that the Prophet Muhammad is said to have gradually revealed the Quran to scribes over a period of 23 years, um, from 609 to 632, the year of his death. As he recited the text, scribes would write down what they heard. And Muslims believe the Quran is a culmination of a series of divine messages from the angel Gabriel and is proof of Muhammad's prophethood. So they used to write it down as he was reciting. You
So
know
again,
what? You see what I've just what's just written here. Some
I
say that the
believe it.
Quran is 1400 years old, and the first revelation came to Muhammad in 609 AD. Others say that it would be 1393 years old, as Muhammad received the first revelation in the year of his death. However, there is some evidence that the Quran, or at least parts of it, may even predate Muhammad. Predates Muhammad?
No way, no
Wait,
way. Does it say
let me
that?
share my screen. Let me share this. Share this.
How,
Can you see?
how is it that he
Can you
got
see
the
it?
first revelation in the first year of his death?
Look at it right there.
This shit don't make no sense.
No, not this one, not this. 1 second. hmm Yeah, look. Some say that the Quran is 1,400 years. No, 1,410 years old. And the first revelation came to Muhammad in 609. Others say it could be 1393 years old, as Muhammad first received his final message in the year of his death. However, there is some evidence that the Quran, or at least parts of it, may predate Muhammad. For example, an Oxford University radiocarbon accelerated unit found that the parchment in a manuscript was likely from between 568. The parchment in a manuscript was likely from between 568 and 645 AD and was written in Hijazi script, an early form of. mm, So Islamic sources say that the complete written collection of the Quran was not produced until after Muhammad's death, when many who knew the Quran by heart were unalived in battle. Ooh, there was a fear that knowledge of the Quran might disappear, so a collection was made. This is not a great source of, not a great way to compile the words from your God. This is not a great source. Um,
At all.
how is a God sending the words just to one person and expecting that those words will now be given to the rest of the world? Makes no sense. Makes no sense.
None at all. Especially if
But
we if go ahead, that's one.
oh, sorry. But what about the other prophets? Because apparently there were other prophets before Muhammad. What did they hear
What was
from
their
Allah,
message?
and what did they write?
Which ones you talking about? You talking about like
Yeah,
Jesus?
what did they write? I don't see anything.
No, but Reggie, the Quran talks about them being 100 and something thousand prophets all over before the prophets of Islam. He said that the prophet of Islam was the final prophet. right? They even believe, Reggie, that Adam, Moses, Elijah, all these people were all prophets. Adam was a prophet. And I've asked somebody when they said Adam was a prophet, like, what was Adam's message?
Right.
What did God send Adam to tell us? They couldn't tell me anything.
Because
It's
he didn't
I,
prophesy. He didn't prophesize anything. I don't know why they would say that. What prophecy did he make? Because if he was a motherfucking prophet, he would have knew that she was going to eat the apple, and then he would have knew. Well, I'm saying it incorrectly. He would have knew that she was going to try to tempt him to eat the apple.
no, but even the Prophet of Islam, considering how he died, right? They said he ate some poisoned food. Even as a prophet, wouldn't he have known that it was poison
Right.
before he even ate it?
Right.
Hmm.
And they also believe that Noah was one of the prophets, but we know that Noah didn't exist. It was a fictional
Mm.
character.
And
This is
Moses.
what I had. This, yeah, exactly. Moses as well. This is what we were. I had a conversation with someone that came up on the live stream on TikTok, and I said to him that your book just plagiarized the Bible, and he said no, that the Bible has got inaccuracies. What is the inconsistencies?
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
to use Afro, and that the Quran is, final. It's correct. And I said to them, how can it be correct when it's just basically copied the false things that are in the Bible? For
Mm.
example, and Moses, we know they never existed, but you have them in your Quran. So how could that be accurate?
That's what I
No.
tell them when I tell them that they copied from it. They're like, "No, we didn't copy from Judaism, and we didn't copy from Christianity." And I ask them, "Is there mentions of Moses or Jesus in your book? Yes or no?" Yeah, but nah, bruh. Nah.
I've asked them if there were 100 and something thousand prophets, or how many prophets there were. Which prophet was sent to Nigeria? What prophet was sent to South Africa?
They never
Tanzania?
answer.
Where were these prophets? Where were they sent to? Hmm? You didn't say, so when you say that the prophet of Islam is the final prophet, unfortunately, we don't even know our own first prophet. So
Right.
he doesn't get to be the final prophet for us in our part of the world. No.
He's the
First,
first
we have to
prophet.
produce the first one to say that this is the last one.
Right. The Quran pulls from Jewish stories. Absolutely, Gerwak. Absolutely. It takes all its stories from Jewish stories, basically. But listen to this. I was reading something, and I believe it. What I'm about to tell y'all. So Christianity, Judaism, um, and Islam, they are a derivative from Hinduism. Did y'all know that?
It's possible because
Hmm?
um, the religions copy off each other.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
So look.
Yeah,
Hold on, Reggie. Why would you say something like that? Wait, let's
So
see.
so look. Abraham and Sarah are nobody but Brahman and Sarah. All you got to do is put an A right in front of it.
wow.
No, say that again.
Abraham and Sarah are nothing but Brahman and Sarah. All you got to do is put an A in front of Brahman, and it's Abraham and Sarah.
Mm, 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 mm.
India's not far from the area. I mean, it is, but not super far away. It's clearly older than those religions, so why not? But that's another topic. We didn't got way, 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 way off topic with that.
Hold on. No, 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 no. Share my screen, Reggie. Please share my screen. Can you see this?
Where it says, "While
Yeah, while
Judaism,
Judaism and
right?
Hinduism are both ancient religions that share some commonalities, Judaism has developed independently of Hinduism. Hinduism is an ethnic religion that has a historical tendency to recognize the divine basis of other religions and revere their founders. That would be interesting, Reggie. I don't know if that's the case. I honestly do not know. Hinduism mostly share common terms with other Indian religions, including Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. Islam shares common characteristics with Abrahamic religions, and those religions claiming descent from the Prophet Abraham, being from the oldest to youngest. Okay, that's. I think that's something we will have to investigate.
Definitely. Because it sounds just like it. And when I show you the video, you're going to be like, I never thought of that.
Mm. Okay.
There are definitely some differences, though. But now that I'm from the outside looking in, there ain't no telling what Christianity or Judaism stole because you definitely come from paganism. You can't deny that. No, that's a fact. But it's a little bit different. So let me pull back up the knowledge of Aisha. Is it small or big?
Make it bigger, please.
Better?
Yeah, can read it.
Okay. I read the part about on her life and fair treatment. On seeking knowledge and education, the prophet said, well, Aisha narrated, the prophet said, whoever innovates something in this matter of ours, i.e., Islam, that is not part of it will be rejected. Sahih Bukhari, Book 49, Hadith 861. This hadith emphasizes the importance of staying pure to the original teachings of Islam and avoiding baseless innovations. That's crazy. On the last moments of the prophet, Aisha narrated, the prophet died while he was between my chest and my neck. He asked for a container to urinate in, and I supported him against my chest. This hadith captures the poignant moment during the final days of the prophet's life, showing Aisha's close relationship with him on women's rights. Aisha narrated, a woman asked the prophet, O Allah's messenger, shouldn't we participate in holy battles and jihad along with you? He replied, the best and most superior jihad for women is Hajj, which is accepted by Allah. Sahih Bukhari, Book 29, Hadith 84. This hadith reflects the Prophet's guidance on the role of women in religious duties, highlighting the spiritual importance of Hajj for women. These hadiths narrated by Aisha are not only significant in understanding the Prophet Muhammad's life, but also serves as a key source for Islamic jurisprudence and ethics. Aisha was a central figure in early Islamic history, known for her intelligence, purity, and influence. Her life was deeply intertwined with the formative years of Islam and her contributions. I already read that part. But the last part, I really didn't understand when they're talking about the women's right. It kind of seems like all they're saying is if there's a war, a woman has the right to join it. So
I think this is conflicting because the painting had to be this woman with all this much powers and influence. But we must remember, this was a kid. She was a
right,
kid when she started. Well, I guess her father was influential. Her father was, you know, Muhammad's right hand man. So maybe I'll understand that. But if she's the mother of Muslims, why are the women, why are most women not like Aisha? Why relegate them to just being, you know, in the bedroom just to satisfy the man and that's it? I don't understand. But painting this woman, make her look like she's whole, she was like the Amazon of her time. But how are women not like her?
I don't understand it because it does show, like honestly, like the stuff I'm reading about her. it does show a lot of her strength,
Right.
which to me, maybe again, maybe I don't understand Islam, but to me, it don't seem like a woman has much of a voice in Islam. It don't seem like she's even allowed to fuck outside without a man. So I don't know.
To fuck outside.
No, she's not even allowed to go outside without a man.
Oh, I was thinking fuck outside. Okay. Okay. Okay,
No, she's
Reggie.
not allowed to go the fuck outside. Like get the fuck out my house.
Oh, Reggie, sorry. I was thinking you were talking about actual fucking outside.
Oh no, we can get to that because she did face some allegations in her life too as well.
Ooh, okay.
Some tough ones. Yeah,
Ooh.
Buzz
So
Hawk. I
wait,
heard.
as we're having this conversation, are we assuming that she was 9 or she was which what age are we putting on her, Reggie?
I'm gonna go for the words from her mouth. Nine,
Mm,
nine,
mm,
because
mm.
that confuses me. Like when we're debating with Muslims, some of them believe certain hadiths, some of them believe other ones. But when we start getting on her age of marriage and her age of smex or whatever, oh well, we don't take that hadith, blah 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 blah. All of a sudden, they don't believe that hadith. So I'm gonna believe what she says. I'm not gonna go off
Amen.
of what a person that don't even know her said.
Amen. Okay.
From a storytelling angle, I could see moving Aisha from powerless to powerful as a compelling narrative for readers and believers. I agree with your work. I could see that trying to hook women in. Like, see, well,
Mm,
she was powerful. We got respect for her, blah, 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 blah. She said that we got women's rights and all this other shit. So I think that would be a good tool to drape new believers in. And now that I'm reading it, I honestly don't understand why when we debate with people, I don't see why they don't say some of the shit that I'm reading right now. Because that's what I would say. But let me move on. Pull this up on the screen. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Aisha's role. Aisha was one of the Prophet's favorite wives and had a significant influence on him. She was known for her sharp intellect, we read this part already, strong will, and deep understanding of Islamic teachings. The Prophet Muhammad often sought her counsel on various matters, and she was deeply involved in the life of the Muslim community. The incident of slander, Hadith of IFK, Aisha's reputation was tested when she was falsely accused of infidelity during an expedition in which she was left behind by mistake. The slander caused a great stir in the Muslim community, but after a period of distress, her innocence was vindicated by a divine revelation. This event further solidified her status and demonstrated her importance in the Islamic history. So that's the point where I was talking about that she was accused of something at one point.
Reggie, Reggie.
Huh?
We don't believe in anything divine, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't believe in anything divine. So I don't know about divine revelation. So could she have hmm? Could
I
she have
mean,
been
you got to think about how old she was, right?
mm-mm.
Why was she? I'm pretty sure she didn't really. Oh, I don't know. I can't say that because I was gonna say I'm pretty sure she didn't enjoy Smex. I
No,
I,
she didn't. Reggie, no, she didn't. She
I
didn't.
I don't think that she would at that age.
I don't think she
I'm
didn't. I
just
don't
I'm
think she did. Mm-mm.
I'm just guessing that. But
Maybe eventually she would have, because don't
right,
forget she had no experience before, right?
right,
And so
right,
over time, because this is your only experience, right, you will grow into, because the idea, this is what I see. When you take on someone that young, it's about uh grooming them
right.
to fit whatever sick thing you've got going there. So that's the only sort of thing they know. And at some point, maybe it might become enjoyable. I don't know.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to, I always try to correct men when I hear them try to say what goes on in a woman's body and all that because we don't know. So
I don't know.
what I was going to say was, I'm sure at that age she didn't enjoy the sex that she was getting with Muhammad. So why would she cheat? But then again, I don't, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I would think in my mind that she wouldn't even want to be having sex with his ass. So why would she be wanting to
Well,
cheat?
Reggie,
You get what I'm saying?
Reggie, I will be very honest here. If I see a man in his jogging bottoms, right, and you see his thing digging left, right, it's automatic, right, to peep that, oh, sugar, what did I just see? She was with this man. That's the only one she'd known. Of course, I can imagine that there were times where it's played in her head. What do other men have down there? What does that look like? I mean, we're naturally inquisitive and explorative and curious, right? So I imagine that she would have asked these questions. I'm not saying that she went on to do it, may not, who knows? But I can guarantee she thought about what has this man got under his own thing apart from my husband. What could have been going on there? What is my sisters, their husbands? What does that look like? And I'm sure these women talked among themselves. I'm sure the women talked among themselves because they used to come to her and say, "Oh, my husband's not treating me right. Can you have a word with the prophet?" I'm sure they will sit down and have a conversation about what is what. So, well,
I don't understand why you would even, sit there and accuse a 9-year-old or however, maybe she was
no, I don't
10.
think she was 9. So, what age was she when she was accused of this thing?
All right, I'm about to go to that. Give me one second. Let me pull it up because I got a different article on that.
Sorry, can you please, guys, if you're watching, make sure to give the stream a like and follow Reggie, Godless Reggie, Vessel of Dishonor, Vessel of Dishonor. Are you
Yes,
there?
yes, I'm here.
You saw
I,
your YouTube channel, no? I don't think I'm following you.
please follow me. I will be
Yeah.
starting it soon.
Let me find the Vessel of Dishonor. Are you the Vessel of Dishonor on YouTube?
Just probably just vessel of dishonor, not the vessel.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in the chat as Vessel.
Yeah. Also, if you can't find it, I've got a link on my TikTok, so
Okay.
it'll take you directly there. I'm agreeing with Jawok. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Um, that it is a story, and because it's just mind-boggling. Why they chose to write this. I would like to know when this history was put together because right now people like we're discussing about her age when she got married, and now it just seems like they're trying to paint her in this really good light, whereas other females are not awarded that opportunity, especially the
Hmm.
other wives.
Right. So far, everything I've read about her has been on the up and up. I don't think that this next part I'm going to read is really too nice. Let's see.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay. The accusations of adultery. When Muhammad and his followers carry out a raid on the Banu Mastalik tribe, he brought along Aisha, who was 13 years old at the time. She was carried in a closed litter on the back of a camel. Aisha recounted that when the raiding party was resting at night on the way home to Medina from the successful operation, she went out to relieve herself. After doing so and returning to her litter, she realized that her necklace was missing. So she traced her way back to look for it. By the time she found it, the convoy had already left, thinking she was in the litter. Assuming that they would notice her absence and return to look for her, Aisha decided to stay where she was. Aisha related that Safwan ibn Mutal, a young Muslim from the raiding party, had lagged behind for some reason. On his solo return journey to Medina, he came across Aisha sleeping on the ground by herself. He addressed her, let her ride on his camel while he guided it, and escorted her home to Medina. It was not until the morning that Muhammad's convoy realized that Aisha was not in her litter. And later, when they were taking a break from the hot midday sun, Aisha and Safan ran into them. A rumor was spread by one of the leading hypocrites in Medina at the time, Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul, accusing Aisha of committing adultery with Safwan. Moreover, it was said that she had conversed with him several times before. This rumor of adultery, if true, would have led to Aisha being stoned to death. Upon her arrival to Medina, Aisha fell ill and sensed that Muhammad was uncharacteristically cold towards her. She only learned of the rumor some 3 weeks later when Mistah told her on their way back from defecating, damn, in an open field at night, as was customary for Muslim
What
women.
was that necessary? Was that necessary to put it? Was it? No, come on now.
That's what I was just thinking. As was customary for Muslim women at that time. That's something else I just learned. So basically, what that sounds like to me is that Muslim women are only supposed to take a shit at night.
What, so you're supposed to hold it in until nighttime?
Yeah. Aisha subsequently
Man,
Aisha subsequently went to her mother asking what the people were talking about, and she replied, "Daughter, be at peace. For I swear by God that no beautiful woman is married to a man who has other wives, but that these other wives would find fault with her." So Aisha cried all night long. I like that. Did you hear that?
Say
I'm
say
a,
that again. Say that again. I'm trying to read as well as
it sounds like her mom told her like basically a man that's married to a whole bunch of wives shouldn't say shit. That's what it sounds like to me. So I'm gonna read it again.
mm,
Aisha subsequently went to her mother, asking, "Hold on, let me plug this up." Shit,
there's
damn
a
laptop.
couple of things here that is interesting, Reggie. So please do not move away from this page, please.
Okay, okay. Damn, where was that? Damn, she was there asking about her. Okay, Aisha subsequently went to her mother asking what the people were talking about, and she replied, "Daughter, be at peace, for I swear by God that no beautiful woman is married to a man who has other wives, but that these other wives would find fault with her." So Aisha cried all night long. Muhammad, despite his fondness for Aisha, was unsure of her innocence. He asked Usama ibn Zayd and Ali for their opinions. Usama vouched for Aisha's innocence, but Ali said, "Woman abound, you can easily find a substitute." Damn. Ask her slave, she might reveal the truth. When the slave girl arrived, Ali beat her severely and said, "Mind you tell the apostle the truth." But her answer was that she only knew only good things about Aisha, with the single exception that when Aisha was entrusted with watching over a doe, she dozed off and allowed a sheep to eat it. Muhammad later visited Aisha at her parents' house and advised her to confess if she had sinned, as God was merciful towards those who seek repentance. It had been more than a month since Aisha had returned alone with Safwan. Despite Muhammad's advice, Aisha refused to apologize and it would indicate a guilt. She told Muhammad that she could find no better parallel for her current situation than that of Joseph's father, who had endured disbelief despite telling the truth and had no other choice but to remain patient. Shortly thereafter, Muhammad experienced a trance and received verses, Quran 24:11-15, that confirmed Aisha's innocence. So
Wow.
basic, so basically, he didn't believe shit she said, made her go to her mom's crib until he had a revelation. And I guess they were asking her slave that was with her, did she tell her that she cheated on Muhammad? and she basically said after they beat her damn near to death, that the only time that she didn't, listen to Muhammad or follow the rules, or the only time that she really sinned was when she fell asleep when she was supposed to be watching the dough and let the goats eat it. So that's very interesting to me that she got accused of something just because they fucked up and left her when she
Okay,
went outside at night to take a shit.
sorry to interrupt
Go ahead.
you. Okay, if there is proof that he wasn't a real prophet, it's right here. This is the proof that he wasn't a real prophet. If he was a prophet, he would know if she had done this or not. He would know immediately. 1 month, 1 month after. It says here, Muhammad, despite his fondness of Aisha, was unsure of her innocence. And this is the person who God or the Allah speaks to, yet doesn't know something as fundamental as his wife cheating on him. And secondly, this is a man who had many other wives,
Right.
right? So there was no case of him cheating at all. You know, Muhammad was caught cheating with a slave on one of his wife's beds. They came and she came and found him sleeping with a slave on her bed. Oh
I
no,
bet it
no,
was the
no.
same one. I bet it was the same one that they was beating, that they made wanted her to lie on her.
I don't know. Um, um, so he can cheat. He can have as many women as he wants. Oh, but heaven help Aisha. The one time that they say she might have, this is ridiculous. This is come on, this was a young lady treated in this manner. And please, does anybody know what is the punishment for adultery in this religion? What is the punishment for adultery? So if Aisha was found to have truly done this, what would have been her fate?
You ain't hear me. I
And
read it.
huh?
I read it. You ain't hear me.
No, where did you
She would have got stoned to death.
change? But he's okay. He can cheat. It's okay for him. No, come on now. Come on. Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, no. I'm sorry. Mm-mm.
So
There's
yeah, it
no
says
appeal. There's no appeal for
it's
this religion for me.
yeah. Look, moreover, it was said that she had conversed with him several times before. The rumor of adultery, if true, could have led to Aisha being stoned to death. Yeah, she would have
Mm-mm,
got hit with
mm-mm.
them rocks. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. Okay. After the prophet's death, I'm gonna move on in a second here. After the prophet's death, widowhood. After the prophet's death in 1632 CE, Aisha lived for many more years, spending much of her time in Medina. As one of the prophet's widows, she was given the title Mother of the Believers, as the hence the title of the
Mm.
show. Political involvement. Aisha played a significant role in political turmoil that followed the prophet's death. She was deeply involved in the dispute over the caliphate and was particularly vocal in her position to the third caliph, Uthman ibn Affan, and later Ali ibn Abi Talib, the fourth caliph. The Battle of Camel in 656 CE, one of the most notable events in Aisha's later life was her participation in the Battle of Camel. This we spoke on this a little bit earlier. This battle was part of the first Islamic civil war, known as the First Fitna. Aisha led an army against Ali, the fourth caliph, in a dispute over the murder of Uthman. The battle was named after the camel on which Aisha rode during the conflict. So she had a fight, lost it, and they still named it after her. Although her forces were defeated, Aisha was treated with respect by Ali, and she returned to Medina, where she withdrew from active politics. Later life and legacy, scholarship and teaching. After retiring from political life. Aisha devoted herself to teaching and spreading Islamic knowledge. She became one of the most important sources of the Hadith, which many companions and later scholars turning to her for guidance. Aisha was known for her deep knowledge of the Quran, Hadith, and Islamic jurisprudence. Her influence on Islamic law, Aisha's contribution to Islamic law, and her interpretations of religious matters have been a lasting impact. She was known for her assertiveness in defending her views and was often involved in legal discussions and debates. Her death, Aisha passed away in 678 CE at the age of 65 in Medina. She was buried in the Jannat al-Baqi cemetery alongside other prominent figures in Islamic history. And that's the reason why I believe that her and Muhammad actually existed. As far as the supernatural part, no.
But did you know that because she was married to the prophet, no woman who was a wife of the prophet could go on to um, be with somebody else? You could not have sex with anybody else or marry somebody else. That's it. That man was your one and only, and that's it. Those were the privileges he was given. So after the prophet was gone, she could not have sex or marry. She had to live a celibate life. And I think that's just cruel and
It,
evil, pure evil.
it is
Now, if
cruel.
that was her choice, that's different. But to mandate any of the prophet's wives, and this one, he married her when she was so tiny. At least give the girl some time to even go ahead and, no, come on now. I cannot. Sometimes when I think about these things, it's so annoying, so frustrating. Mother
Do,
of believers. Mother of
do you
believers was busy suffering over there.
do you really believe that she actually didn't have sex again? Because I definitely don't believe that.
Listen, I think she didn't because she had enemies. This lady had enemies,
Slaves.
right? And there were people who would not mind their business. They would be in her business wanting to know what she was doing or not doing, right? And then there was the caliphate and all these people. So if she took a misstep, I'm sure there will be people who were prepared to, you know, out her. So I don't know if that was would have been a good idea to mess around, but there might have been ways to go about these things. Oh,
Slaves.
no, no, hold on, Reggie, hold on. I was just thinking, right? She can't sleep with a man. She had female slaves though. Could she
That's
have
true.
been a lesbian? Mm-hmm. Could she
Maybe.
have been, doing some uh quick action?
Yeah, she
It's
could. She
possible.
could have been. She could have been. But I think that she was probably doing a little bit of both. I mean, like I
Ish.
said, even there's stories here from the United States that we have proof that some of these slave owners, women ones, was fucking some of the black slaves. We can prove it.
That male slaves?
Yeah. Sometimes they
Mm.
was killing them afterwards, so they wouldn't be no proof. Yeah. Cutting their meat off, doing all kind of weird shit to them.
I know
Yeah.
the male slave owners would sleep with the
Oh
female
yeah.
slaves.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a more common thing, obviously. But the women,
Hmm.
the white American women, were sometimes having sex with the slaves, especially during the war times, like during the Civil War and shit like
When
that.
the
Dudes,
men were off.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm. Oh wow.
no different than Muhammad.
Hmm.
That's the same thing. They're in a power position. I'm talking about Muhammad and Khadijah.
Yes. Sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's no different than that. What you gonna do? I own you. You're my slave.
And for the slave, it might have been maybe the slave master's wife would say, do this for me, and I'll get you all these favors, right?
Yeah.
I make him treat you better. I will put in a good word for you, and I will. So,
Hmm.
it might have been appealing to the slave to go ahead and do this little favor for his madam,
Exactly.
so that
They had,
he can go ahead and get favors.
hmm
Hmm.
they definitely would do it. Extra food, whatever. And then
Yeah.
on top of that, they had slave. I mean, breeding slave camps. I'm not saying that the women were there doing that too, but they had some camps that were just strictly for breeding because you need to generate more slaves instead of buying them all the time.
Breeding who? The slaves breeding.
Yeah, they had breeding plantations.
Really?
Yes, there's stories of this guy that has thousands of kids, and he's not white, he's black. They would take him to go impregnate a whole bunch of slaves. Those were the most beneficial ones because you're generating new slaves without having to buy them. It's just like, okay, say for instance, if you're in a business, right, and you're buying products to sell, right? If you can start getting these products for free, you're
Hmm.
making way more money.
Right.
Yeah, you're making way more money.
Oh, there's a comment by M. Albert. M. Albert says, "Isn't there a similar story in the Bible where a prophet is said to have married someone young?
Yes, it
Muslims
is.
often use this as a rebuttal." Listen, there is no. It's not. I know the one you're talking about is Rebecca. There's no indication that Rebecca was 3 years old. There's no indication at all. So I don't know where they get it from. And it's a case of, okay, our prophet did it, but other prophets did it too. Doesn't make it right.
No, it
Doesn't
don't.
make it right at all.
I do know that King David married a 12-year-old, but he wasn't a prophet. I don't know whether they recognize David as a prophet in Islam.
To me, it seemed like they recognize anybody from previous book that has a notable name as a motherfucking prophet. It's like they got it. Okay, so later on, if it go back and he knew something, he was a prophet too. Make sure you write that down. Oh yeah, we said it's 120 something thousand. That's one of them. Shit, because they gonna ask, which one came to here. So they got to make up stories as they go.
Yes. Everybody was a prophet. You're a prophet. You're a prophet. You prophet. Everybody's prophet.
Yeah. I think that's true, but the only problem is just they spelling it incorrectly. It should be Profit because this shit
Yeesh.
is for money. It's not for free,
Mm-mm. A prophet, not a
right?
prophet.
I had some,
Mm-mm.
I had some videos and stuff that I was gonna play, but we're already over an hour here, so it's really no need. All they're gonna do is just talk about the same shit that we already said.
But yeah,
But
this has been an interesting deep dive, and unfortunately, fortunately, when we were religious, I don't know if this is the same for both of you. Do you know more about religion as an atheist than you did as a religious person? Because I do.
absolutely,
I know more.
absolutely,
Because now we can do all these deep dives, we can do all these, trying to figure out what other people believe. Because we now don't have these biases, we don't have these connections to the religion. And so now, our God will not be angry with us because we wanted to find out what other people believe, right? Because these religions tells you not to sit in the seat of the sinners and the seat of the scornful, right? You are not to associate with people that don't believe, but we don't believe, and so we can be with, listen to anybody, right? Especially people who, why do they believe what they believe? So this is always, I think it's a wonderful thing doing all this, because then it gives you knowledge on what these people believe. It makes you understand what the religion is all about. So I do appreciate, being an atheist. It's allowed me to explore other belief systems that I would not, in a million years, would not have been able to do as a believing person.
right. I'm glad that I'm not religious anymore. Especially, it's kind of like redundant what I'm going to say, but I'm glad that I'm not religious because of what I know, and I know what I know because I'm glad I'm not religious. It's crazy, like the way it just was delivered to us. and the ridiculousness of it just makes no sense. And it's like, I understand why people are religious, and they are is because they don't understand it. That's why you're religious. I don't care who you is. If you believe in Allah, if you believe in God, if you believe in Jehovah, if you believe in Yahweh Jesus, it's because you don't know the religion. You don't know it because it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Yes, atheism gives you freedom from religion. Yes, it does. It's a relief to know that I'm not going to hell, no matter what I do. I can't. It's impossible because there's no such thing. There's no man running around here trying to convince me to do shit. There's none of that shit. None of it.
And even if I do go to hell, even if I do find myself in hell, I'll just look for godless Reggie. I look for vessel of dishonor. I look for gay work and buzzhawk. Well, how about we all just come together in hell and form, you know, listen, everyone in hell can decide, you know what? Because there'll be more people in hell than there are in heaven, right?
Oh yeah.
Hmm. So the people in hell can all just gang up and infiltrate heaven, infiltrate that place, and a coup could happen, and we get that guy off his seat, right? We could arrest him, and all of us find our way out of hell, and then get God and his followers. We throw them in the hell. I mean, this is doable. So I'm not
Well,
afraid of
me
going to
neither.
hell.
Me
Mhm.
neither. Like the Christians, that's what they think too. Oh, Christianity is under attack. It's under attack, and the devil is working so hard to take down us Christians and this man of God. Like, why the fuck do you Christians think that people that preach are something special? Why do you think that? You can't
Mhm.
read. You can't read the book yourself. You think just because he's reading and he's screaming that he's of some significance? Fuck out of here. Doesn't make sense.
And it shouldn't make any sense. It shouldn't. Sometimes I wonder, how do people believe these things?
How did they
But,
start? Right.
but sometimes I have to pause and say, you were once like them.
Right.
Not long ago. Right? It's not long ago here that you two were once like them. So I have to pause and say, okay, I get it. I understand it. But my goodness, you believe that a man went and split the moon. Why? Because of, he was challenged. How do we believe what you're saying? And this was the proof. He says, okay, I'll be back. And, I'll bring some. And then somehow splits the moon. Wait, so you couldn't provide any proof. You had to go and split the moon. A
Right. Of
moon
all
that
things.
affects everybody. We all need the moon. And now you go and be splitting the moon. Hello?
Right. You could have started flying. You could have made it started raining.
No,
Anything but that.
I
What
know.
was this
He
at
could have
night?
just stood there and started elevating, right? He could have just,
Right.
elevate himself, elevate the others, and say, "Look, we are flying," or something. Huh? But the moon, what did the moon even do to you?
Right. What made you even think of that? Made you just look up like, what? Watch this. What made you think of that?
What
Why,
reason?
why was you even up that late at night talking to these motherfuckers?
It's
What was
like
you?
early on today, I was reading what you call it, the book of Genesis. Noah, right?
Hmm.
God getting angry with humans because humans had, become corrupted in their minds, and they were thinking things and doing things and stuff. And God gets angry with humanity. Then God now says he's even angry with birds and animals. He's with birds and animals that did him no wrong at all. He's angry. I'm thinking, what is wrong with this God? What is wrong with him? What did the animals do? At least keep the animals out of the way. Keep the babies, remove them from the earth and take them out. No. He just had them. Oh man, no, 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 no.
That's some good ammo right there, though. I wish I was a Christian, because you know what I would say when you that part that you just said about God being angry at the animals and stuff. I'll be
Yeah,
like, that's why when animals go into childbirth, when they're going into birth, that's why they're being pain. Yep, that's
it's
why they're being
Vessel. It's
pain.
Vessel you should say that to, because she's the one
Uh huh.
who normally asks that question. What do the
Uh-huh.
animals do to, when you see an animal bearing
Hmm.
in childbirth, what did the animal do to get that from your God?
That's what I would say.
Is
But I'm sure
Vessel
they don't
there?
think about that.
Vessel?
No, she ain't here. I don't know.
Okay.
I think she got caught up with she's babysitting or something. I think so.
Mhm.
What you got going on for the rest of the day? Even though I know, I just want you to say it.
So later on, I've got Godless Dating over on TikTok. I will stream bits of it onto YouTube. So anyone who's interested, if you find yourself, if you're a godless person, you're looking for a relationship, a mate, a friend, whatever that is, however that looks like to you, if you're queer, if you are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual, whatever sexual, demisexual, whatever sexual, if you're polyamorous, if you are just looking for a significant other, looking for a special friend, whatever that looks like to you, Godless Dating is the right place to be. I will stream it onto YouTube. And if you are looking for a mate, please message me somewhat, just somehow in one of my links, something, right? Because I find a couple of people have, well, not couple, a few people have messaged me saying, okay, this is my, this is what I'm looking for. I'm single and this is what I'm looking for. Ideally, I would like for them to, showcase themselves. You never know who you might meet, right? But the beauty about this whole thing is that anyone you meet or anyone we, should bring forward is a godless person. And I think it's going to be a beautiful thing. We are growing a community. There's going to be more and more godless people over the next 5, 10 years. There's going to be more and more godless people. People are walking away from God, walking away from these religions. So yeah, come along and yeah, let's see. We can get you partnered up.
Uh-oh, here come the ops. God is good. When? You know, I've been on this kick lately. I've been on a particular a kick with religion, right? So I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it ABOGBOG
I
some shit?
don't
I
know.
don't know what the hell you're talking about. But was God good when he was running around here collecting everybody's foreskin? I've been on that foreskin kick lately hard. Was he good then? And what was he doing with it? Is he collecting them motherfuckers? Is he cooking them? Is he frying them like pork rinds? What's he doing with them? What do you do with mine? I want my motherfucking
Mhm.
foreskin back. God ain't good then. Was he good when he raped Mary to impregnate her? Huh? Was Jesus good when he told the Canaanite girl that she was a dog? Was God good during slavery? Tell me when God was good, because I don't know. I'm going to sit here and wait for you.
Apparently, they do this every time the stream is about to end, Reggie. Get says this is something they do when the stream is. So that means they sit there and watch and watch and watch and just wait until the stream is about to end and then just start typing it in. Oh my goodness. What a thing. Your God must be very useless then. If he waits for you, you have to wait for people to be done to insert your God is good. He must be very good indeed.
No, Buzzhawk is only one D. It's God. That's Reggie. But the rest of it is correct.
What?
This
Your
this
first
person
name
does it.
God is a sacrifice to God.
This
Wow.
person does this
Why
at the
would
end of every
anyone want to
live stream.
sacrifice anything to God?
Yeah, they do it at the end of the live stream because they know not to do it while I'm in full mode. I'm sitting here holding my pee just so I can just flame you right before I go to the bathroom. There don't want no smoke. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to you, Afro. I want to give a shout out to the Vessel of Dishonor. I want to give a shout out to Tia Don J. Hopefully she'll be back next week or weeks to coming. I want to give a shout out to my Jamar. That's Black J. I do another show with him. It's called AAA Sports. It comes on every Wednesdays at 7:30. We also do Product of the 80s podcast, which is about politics, sports, and current events. I want to give a shout out to Diallo Bands. I want to give a shout out to D80. I want to give a shout out to Big Chicken. I want to give a shout out to Gerwalk, Buzzhawk, uh, everybody that's been tuning in. Yeah, I think that's about it.
What are you doing for the rest of the day then?
Um, Today I really don't got too much planned. I'll probably stop by your show, just say hi, or at least mod it or something. Um,
You're not looking for a mate,
not
partner
not
you up?
not really, not really.
No, no, no. You're going to break a few hearts, Reggie.
Why you say that?
Oh, some people have their eyes on you, Reggie.
Really?
Yes, some people have their eyes on you.
Well, the people
They've
that got
made
their
that.
eyes
They've
on me.
made that, they've made that very
Okay.
clear to me.
Well, if you got your eyes on me, follow me on YouTube at Godless Reggie. Follow me on TikTok at Godless Reggie at Godless Reggie too. I'm about to uh I'm about to put up my subscription page. So if you're really interested in me, make me a believer.
Mm-mm. Reggie be looking for a believing mate.
I'll definitely be back here though next week. Same time. I don't know what the topic's gonna be yet. I probably stick to Islam for a little bit because I've been
Very quick question for you.
okay.
What inspired you to do Aisha, the mother of believers?
Um, I don't know. It just came in my mind. Honestly, it just came in my mind. I wanted to do something about Islam, right? So because it seemed like to me we just been going hard on Christians, 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 and the reason why is because I know Christianity better than I know Islam. So I'm like, well, what can I talk about that's not really disrespectful or ratchet or nothing like that? So I figured, okay, well, let's just talk about Aisha. A lot of stuff that we talked about today, I was completely unaware of until last night because I read some of it and listened to some of it. But yeah, it just came to my head out of nowhere, honestly.
Okay, I was curious. Oh, thank you. Thank you for keeping it respectful because I think sometimes we when we do this, it's one of the things that we get a lot of flack for by Muslims. They would say things like, "Oh, that's all you'll talk about, how old she was and how this is it." But this really was about, it wasn't, the focus wasn't about him being a P3DO. No, that wasn't even the subject, but about, the history and what she was all about. So thank you for keeping it respectful.
For sure. I said before I started doing this show, I was like, I don't really want to turn it into love and hip hop.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, it's
Hmm.
definitely Buzz Talk. It's definitely freedom of speech, and I definitely exercise that at all times. But shit, it's early as hell. It's only what's 1 o'clock here is. I ain't got time for that. It's too early. Maybe later.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, it's only 1 o'clock here. I'm just now. I'm still drinking my damn coffee.
It's gone past 6 p.m. here.
Oh yeah, he definitely was a P3DO. Don't let a story control your life. Facts, facts, especially a fairy tale story.
Mm,
Facts,
mm, mm,
facts,
mm,
facts,
mm,
facts.
mm, mm, mm. Mm.
But yeah, but yeah, I want to thank all y'all for coming on here again. Thanks everybody that showed up. Thanks for some of my on and off guests. I appreciate all of it. I definitely appreciate you, Afro. I appreciate everybody that's here, everybody that followed me. Um, Good night.